On the 15th of October 1997 came one of the best games I have ever played. This is a game from my childhood and a game that I hope to be still playing in 10 years time. But I'm going to be playing it in a different way. Welcome to Age of Empires Definitive Edition. Going through the PC Gamer presentation at E3, we got a lot of cool new releases. But just before we all thought it was over, we got something very incredible, and this was the announcement of a new, reworked Age of Empires 1. Probably one of my favourite games ever made, boasting such a unique and diverse strategy system. The Age of Empires series has been one of the most popular strategy games and franchises over the years, Age of Empires 1 being the landmark for it all. So, what is included in this new reworked Definitive Edition? The game has a number of improvements over the original, including a 4K support. Now this is probably one of the main attractions to it. Including 4K makes it amazing for those high-end gamers, because the original Age of Empires was really a very low-end game. Of course, in its time, it was probably a pretty high-end game. But for now, it is probably one of the easiest games to run if you actually can run it still on modern-day computers. But reworking it now for 4K and, of course, improved graphics makes this game come back to life in a massive way. Of course, these graphics are extremely improved, and this blew me away when I first saw it. I thought it would be a lot like the Age of Empires 2 HD edition. We all knew that was somewhat of a graphical improvement. There wasn't anything massive there, but you can definitely tell the difference if you put two side by side. Age of Empires Definitive Edition blows away any other Age of Empires game in the graphics department. It looks like a completely new game from the outside. But when you get inside, you can tell it is the same game with a new cover. Of course, there were redone animations with this. They look a lot smoother, and things like when rocks and things hit the ground, you can see little plumes of dust come up, explosions, of course, when you're running around, and the fire and things like that are very much improved. Along with this outer coating, there are of course some gameplay enhancements. There'll be improved pathfinding and AI, and of course a modern UI. We didn't actually get to see this modern UI in the trailer, because the UI wasn't turned on. But it's been revealed, it's been announced, so we're just going to have to trust them on that one. I wonder what they're going to do. But of course we need a better AI in games, because this day and age players like to have a challenge. They don't want to be fighting against the same boring, dumb AI that we're used to in the past. So pathfinding and AI improvements are definitely going to be a welcome improvement. So, there's also going to be a completely remastered soundtrack. I am a little bit skeptical about this, since I did love the original Age of Empires soundtrack. And on here, it does say that it is remastered on the trailer, but on some websites that I've seen, it said it's going to be fully re-recorded and re-orchestrated. Remastered is very different to re-recorded and re-orchestrated, but I'm going to go with remastered for now, because that's what it says on the trailer. Remastered is basically improving the quality and fidelity of it, changing compressors, getting the sound volumes, and mixing it a bit better, so it will sound higher quality if that's what they're going for, and I'm very excited about that. Maybe they're even going to be adding more bits in as well, re-recording it all but keeping the same soundtrack as we all know and love. Of course, with this new music, we're also going to see hundreds of new and rebuilt sound effects in there. Sound design is very important for games, and especially of this day and age when people have more improved sound systems, you're going to want to have a game that really puts it to the test, so having new and rebuilt sound effects is a great idea. A lot of people said in the Age of Empires games that they want zoom levels, they want to be able to zoom in and see the battles from closer. This has now been added in Age of Empires Definitive Edition, and of course Definitive Edition will now include something that I don't think any Age of Empires has included before. This is support over Xbox Live, which is interesting. Are they going to be porting this onto consoles? I don't know how that would work, but I'm going to trust them on this one. There's going to be achievements in the game, which I know a lot of people like. Personally, I'm not too bothered about achievements, but it's a little nice addition that they're adding in. And there will also be the inclusion of the Rise of Rome expansion. This is in addition to the base game, so you're not just going to have the base game on its own. You're going to have this epic expansion, which I think really improved the game a lot, having 60 new civilizations to play and 10 campaigns to conquer along the way in this new Definitive Edition. A brand new narrative will be included in the game, so you're not getting exactly the same thing, it's going to be improved in a gameplay sort as well. So you're going to be doing some different things as well on the top of the old Age of Empires, and there will be included single player and multiplayer modes, of course. So this is more of a massive overhaul of the original game, which I am very happy about because they know that people loved the original games. That's why they're remaking them, but they're not making the mistake of changing them completely. They're just modernizing them, so to speak. So what can you do? When can you play this? Hopefully the game will be out later this year, they're saying, but you can actually get hands-on pretty soon with the beta program, and you can go and join that with a link in the description. But it was very, very popular, and I think the website crashed after a few minutes of it being announced, so it might be better now, it might be better sorted. But I definitely go and recommend you guys going and checking that out. Unfortunately, I have signed up for it, but if I do get into it, I think there's an NDA, so I can't actually make any videos on it, but I'm excited to play it anyway if I do get into the beta. But I know a lot of people were expecting something else from Age of Empires. People, when it was coming up at the start of the trailer, thought, is this Age of Empires 4? Is this the next one in the series? I know some people that might have been a bit disappointed by that, but all in all, I think I'm very happy with the announcement of a new, reworked version of probably, I'm going to go out on here, one of my favourite games ever made. And in fact, this was the first game I ever played on PC. But could this mean something for the future of Age of Empires? Because we've got all these reworked versions, we've now got Age of Empires Definitive Edition, Age of Empires 2 HD Edition, and Age of Mythology Extended Edition. I doubt they're going to rework Age of Empires 3 since that's more of the modern ones, and the graphics in that I think are absolutely fine. But does this mean that they are coming back next time for an Age of Empires 4? It is something to be pondered upon, but it is a possibility. Make sure you leave your comments down below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this new Definitive Edition. But other than that, guys, I'm very excited to bring some news on this in the future when we hear some. But until then, I will see you in the next one.